for episode 92 of the Podwans podcast. I'm your host, Char J, joined by my co-host, Luke.
What's going on, everybody?
And Hereth Productions.
Can you believe we're back live?
Yeah, it's been like what, since like March 29th?
3
Last
weeks.
time we had a live episode?
3 weeks, almost a month. It's been wild.
It's been a long time.
A lot has happened since then.
But I hope I hope everyone's having a great Thursday night. Today we're going to be discussing Season 3, Episode 7 of Star Wars Rebels, also known as Imperial SuperCommandos. We're going to be diving into a little bit of Mandalorian history, which is kind of ironic with how, recent, episodes of a certain show came out. Gar Saxon, Sabine Wren, Fen Rao, all of that fun stuff on Mandalorian history. So let's dive right into it. Luke, are you ready?
Yep.
Hereth, are you ready? Then let's go.
The Jedi Knights are all but destroyed, and yet your task is not complete, Inquisitor. The Emperor has foreseen a new threat rising against him. The Podwans Podcast.
And we're back. Okay.
I just don't understand. We let the child out for 5 seconds, and he just goes batshit crazy in the back.
I love how
finding out who that child is in a few seconds. So we have two guests on today to talk about Imperial SuperCommandos. One is a returner, been on plenty of times. Another one is a returner, but he should be on way more often than he usually is because this is his show. First of all, let's bring in the host of the ATST show. Aidan talks Star Wars topics.
Then I was like, that's not a mythosaur. That's my mom.
What the fuck?
What?
What's up, everybody?
Aidan, how's it going, man?
Oh my God. Aiden, I missed you.
I missed my Lucasfilm Studio Showcase, pal of us going crazy, and the guy in front of us being like, yo, these motherfuckers are insane.
Yeah.
Aidan, how's it going, man?
It's going great.
Second that, babe. It's the one. He's the one that we wanted. The other two were just mistakes.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Hey.
Apologies to the others. But yeah, Star Wars is great. I'm in my last couple of weeks of my college career, so that's pretty exciting. And I'm ready to talk about Imperial SuperCommandos.
Whoop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Aidan,
And by the way, me and Aiden. No, go ahead, Char.
Wait, no, you and Aidan are looking pretty cute, Luke, because you guys.
I know that's what I was gonna say. We're matching hats.
Matching hats.
Yeah.
I wear the same hat every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyway, Aidan, where can the good people find you on social media?
Well, when I am active on social media, you can find me on TikTok at Aidan Talks Star Wars Topic 1. I know my username is very long, and if you don't want to look for it, that's completely fine because honestly, I don't care. And then you can also find me in the Podwans Discord server whenever I'm there as well. And those are the two main places you can find me.
Yes, hopefully the Podwans Discord server makes a little bit of a resurgence because after celebration happened, it kind of just
we murdered it. We murdered that.
But anyway, Aidan, thank you for coming on. And our second guest is actually he's quite close to you, Aidan. Am I right?
Oh yeah, no, we are very close.
Yes. Yes, he was on not too long ago for a Rebels episode, and he's been appearing on our Clone Wars episodes, and he's been on for reactions as well. Another Arizona State colleague of yours.
Yes, students.
One half of They Fly Now, Car2D2. You're muted.
All right, child, you're muted.
Howdy, everybody.
Oh, geez.
Howdy.
Hey, Luke. What's the internal temperature of a tauntaun?
Oh my
Oh
God.
God.
Lukewarm.
Oh my God. You know what's
Carter
funny?
would-
Oh, wait. Hold on. You know what's funny is that was in when Ellie was doing her Grogu Ellie crossover. She had the Star Wars joke book, and it had that joke in there.
No, Carter. You and Aidan must have planned this because there is no way you guys came in here and your first words were a joke.
No, actually, I
This was
heard
planned.
Aidan do it, and
He
then
copied me.
Yeah, I did. I completely did. But I think it sets the mood.
Hey, Aiden, why are you inspiring your ASU counterpart to do plagiarism? How dare you?
Well,
Hey, I can't control if someone plagiarizes something. That's up to the dean of students if they want to take action against that. I won't report you, Carter, but just make sure you watch yourself. Okay, they're very, very, very stringent.
Appreciate it.
Oh man. Oh man. All right, Carter. Where can the good people follow you?
So last time I was on here, I was like, just go follow my Instagram at Carter Diver. But this time, I've made some tweaks in my game plan, and you can go follow my TikTok at Car2D2. And I've determined that from now until the end of Ahsoka, I'm just gonna post all of them, and then go from there.
Awesome.
Because-
And Carter, I noticed that you did the point the finger at the username thing. I feel like I started a movement with that.
Yes.
Now I feel like everyone wants to shout their stuff. They always point at their name.
Carter with the plagiarism again. Come on, man. We just talked about this.
No, it's not plagiarism. It's just mimicking greatness. You know what I mean? I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Would you just stop?
Luke, look what we did by making Char Mr. Pod once for 2 weeks straight.
No,
He thinks
for
he's
3 weeks.
he,
For 3 weeks straight.
he thinks he thinks he owns the channel.
I do.
Well,
I do.
I mean, his ideas have been doing pretty well.
They
Been doing
have.
pretty well,
And
I'm
hey,
not
Luke,
gonna
you gotta
lie.
respect. I'm wearing you on my shirt. Okay.
Yeah, that is very true. I was gonna say I wish I had that shirt. I can't find it anywhere now.
I got it at Disneyland when we were at Celebration 2022.
Oh.
Here's the real MVP of Pod Ones while you're at Celebration.
Yeah. Let everybody shout out Remy. She did a fantastic job editing the
Thanks, Remy.
Mando episodes reactions while we were gone.
Woohoo, Remington!
Also, go check out Clonecast. That's gonna make a resurgence. She's finally gonna talk about Cody after talking about Cody for like 4 weeks.
I hope that meme just continues. Please just let it never die.
So yeah, be on the lookout for that. But yeah. Do we want to talk a little bit about Celebration, or do we just want to talk about Mando season finale thoughts? What are we feeling? I mean,
I don't know,
three of us
what's
went.
your icebreaker? What's your icebreaker, man?
Well, the icebreaker was what you guys think of the season finale of Mando.
Oh, well, there you go. That's yeah. What do you guys think? What do you think, Carter, Aiden?
I would say I loved it. I would say I really enjoyed it because I was like, I had convinced myself that like Din was gonna die, and I don't know why. I just like had this weird gut feeling with like everything that whoever like, the director is saying that like Din is not the Mandalorian in the title. It can also mean Bo-Katan. I was like, okay, I feel like they're kind of setting this up that Din's gonna die. So when Din didn't die, I was like, oh, like this is really good. I really like the little house at the end. But the fight, I really loved all the fights. They were legitimately, I think, some of the best fighting that we've seen in the Mandoverse so far. I just was kind of really on my seat the entire time. The only thing I didn't like, well, it's not like I didn't like, I think I just was kind of ready for it, was an end credit scene with Thrawn. I feel like a lot of people thought that was going to come. And then I thought Sabine was going to come in somehow, and neither of those two things happened, but really they're not that big of a deal. So I would say, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think it is setting up Ahsoka pretty well, but that's more the last 2 episodes with like the Shadow Council and stuff. So yeah, I think I really, really liked it.
Nice.
Awesome. Aiden, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I have to say, this has actually been one of my more favorite season finales from all the different Disney Plus shows that we've gotten, especially because of like how it makes you feel. It's a very hopeful and happy ending to this chapter of this story that we set out on, all the way back in 2019. So I think that's kind of been lacking over the past couple of shows about, kind of the overarching message of hope. So that's what really made me enjoy the season finale. And similar to what Carter had said, like the action was awesome this episode. Really cool camera shots working like on the backs of the Mandalorians on their jetpacks and getting those close-up action shots and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like also I enjoy this as well. It's because it kind of feels like now at this point in this next chapter we're going into, The Mandalorian as a show is kind of returning to its roots of season 1, where it's now back to, adventures with Din Grogu and Din Djarin, now that they'll be working with the New Republic on a case-by-case basis. So I think it closed off the necessary parts for us to be ready for the next project we're getting, which is Ahsoka. So now we just have to wait for that. But I feel like it really came together in terms of the finale. And those are my thoughts.
Awesome. And before we get into Hereth's thoughts, you know who thought the opposite of that? This guy. Hereth.
All right.
What do you think?
I love how you threw me directly in the fire. I love how you threw me right into the fire and didn't let me do it myself. Okay.
It's fun.
I will not deny this episode was good. It was very fun, and I thought it wrapped up the stories in an interesting way. However, it's probably my least favorite of all the live-action finales because I feel like with every live-action finale, I've come away with like a what's going to happen next feeling. But with Mando, I don't feel anything with that. Again, with season 1, it was, oh my god, getting with the Darksaber, what's going to happen with that? Season 2, it was going to be, oh my god, it's Bo-Katan versus Din with the Darksaber, and what's going to happen with Grogu and Din's relationship. With Book of Boba Fett, it was, again, it's the same way I felt like with this, where it's very hopeful, but you still had the whole theme of with Din and Grogu going off, okay, we're back to the Mandalorian and how that's going to go. Kenobi had the really cool stuff with wrapping everything up with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and then the whole what's going to happen with Reva. And then obviously Andor had the what's going to happen with Andor and Luthien. But this I just was okay, this feels like a series finale. It closed the book too well. And I'm if this was the end of Din and Grogu's story, I would be fine with this. I have no draw or anything to pull me back into the story. And I feel like they kind of just rushed Gideon's character arc really at the end and was oh, this is really interesting. He's this third party who has no allegiance with the First Order and Final Order. But let's just kill him immediately. It's what?
I don't think he's dead.
He's definitely dead.
No, I think that all. I think
one of those clone pods were.
Still intact.
Is it because he didn't have the mustache, Luke?
Yes, it is because he didn't have the mustache.
First of all, that's the dumbest theory ever.
Hey! Fuck off!
I grow a mustache all the time, and I just shave it.
Carter, you are incapable of growing a mustache.
Hey, tomorrow for Law Wands, I'm gonna come in with no mustache. So everyone's gonna think I'm a clone. So yeah.
Should me and Char shave just so everyone thinks we're clones?
I'll shave too.
No, I feel like mine is more apparent.
I mean, tomorrow's episode is not going to involve any of us. You do know that, right?
Yes.
Of what?
Law Ones. So I guess while we're on the topic of it, tomorrow we are having a special episode of Law Ones. We are gonna have a all female cast, a women's panel talking about Star Wars, the characters, and in universe and outside of the universe, putting light on content creators and stuff like that. So that's gonna be tomorrow. I think it's gonna be around 7:30 EST. So that'll be start doing clone trooper haircuts. That's true.
Luke,
but what?
Luke, when I come to see you, we're both getting Ivan Drago
also I guess
getting Ivan Drago haircuts.
No, we are not getting Ivan Drago.
We gotta fight for the Republic.
No. Also, Char will not be on next week's episode because he's coming to Omaha, and we are going to do a co-stream of Jedi Survivor Saturday morning. So Saturday, April 29th.
Yeah, we also got the triple Survivor streams because I also will be streaming Thursday night, Friday night, and then you guys on Saturday.
Yeah.
So you guys will get back to back like 3 streams straight of just Survivor.
Yeah, so that's gonna be what's coming on the channel now.
So who's replacing Char next week?
I wonder who.
You're looking at him. Carter will be Char for that episode. So
Yeah, it
Three
will go from
interesting
Char.
facts about certain Rebels arc that you didn't know about until now.
It will go from Char to Car.
Car.
No,
Hey.
no,
Yes.
no, that's why I
Yes.
put my foot down. No.
So,
Absolutely not.
Carter, practice it with me. Three interesting facts about a
about
certain Rebels
certain
arc that
Rebels
you
arc.
didn't know
my
about until
God.
now.
Oh my
Episode
God.
96. Wait,
It's
it would be
93. It's 93.
Episode 93.
I have Squadron, you clown.
I have the Squadron edition.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Back
also,
then.
look, I love how you draw the line there, but we had Luke, and you didn't draw the line there.
Fuck you guys. First of all, I would have shut that shit down real quick. Sean, if you're watching this, you're gone. No more seats on pop.
Well,
Do you know who
buddy.
Luke,
Hey,
John Pork
Hey,
is?
don't be talking to Luke like that. Okay?
What are you talking about?
You shut your mouth, bud. I'm telling you. The one thing that really made that reaction work was
All right.
Luke.
So, very funny. Very funny.
Luke,
right,
do you know
what?
who John Pork is?
Oh no.
No.
You
Apparently
don't.
he's starting never mind.
Apparently he's calling you right now. You don't know who John Pork is?
No.
Oh my
So
God,
John
everyone
Pork
calls
is like
you-
some AI character that has like a pig nose and he's like a regular dude. His name is John Pork.
Nice. All right. Enough derailment. Enough
I'm
derailment.
sorry.
Hey, we're giving Kenny all the derailments. He had it
so-
for 3 episodes straight. He didn't have it.
So, my thoughts on Mando finale. It's kind of in the middle of Carter and Hereth. I was a little underwhelmed, but then again, I really enjoyed it. My take is that we're not getting season 4 anytime soon, because I think we're going to get the movie before we get season 4. Because it's like I'm pretty sure it's gonna go Rey's movie, then Mando, then the Dawn of the Jedi movie. So I think Mando is going to be taking a back seat for a while because I'm sure we'll get Ahsoka season 2, Skeleton Crew season 2. Like they need those shows to stand on their own for a while.
But I also feel like the way the season finale ended, they kind of left it open for Din to appear in any one of those 2 shows.
Well, yeah, no,
Yeah.
and that was going to be my second point is that they left it open ended to where they could have him show up in things. But the way it ended is just like Hereth said, it's like very like it's that felt like a series finale instead of a season finale.
Yeah, and with Din making a pact with Carson Teva about working with the New Republic too, that opens up a lot of possibilities on where he could show up.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
And if Dave Filoni's movie is gonna kind of be like a rapid or including like a lot of the aspects of like this whole like Mandoverse, it kind of would make sense that like the Book of Boba Fett's series kind of ended like in like a good way, and then season 3 of Mando ended in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like both of them could come in if they needed them.
I have a really strong feeling that Din's going to show up in Ahsoka.
Yeah. I felt that again.
Because with Zeb being okay, I don't.
I don't think so.
Because with Zeb being a part of season 3 of Mandalorian, and him being close with Carson Teva, and since Din is already made a deal with Carson Teva to work with the New Republic if need be,
I don't know.
I think like a hologram
and then
at
he's
the
like,
most.
I know another.
I think a hologram
Mandalorian."
at most, if at all, for Din showing up in the Ahsoka series.
Yeah, I don't see it because they're gonna be too busy. They're gonna be too focused on these the two new Force users, and all these other great things that we saw in the Ahsoka trailer. I mean, Thrawn. Like, there's not enough room.
But I feel like Din showing up in the Ahsoka is going to be the same as Din showing up in the Book of Boba Fett. They need that kind of thread for the live action fans to stay interested in Ahsoka. So them tying Din into
I don't think so.
I hope we don't get a whole Din episode.
I don't think we'll get a whole Din episode, but I could see him being like a side character for an episode or two.
And also, let's take a moment to recognize who's in the chat. So Brooke said she's going to be a part of the house with Din and Grogu, or Din and Grogu. Yes, I was about to do that. With Brooke being in here, we have to, of course, shout out Far Far Away Factory. She has a website where she makes a bunch of her own shirts, earrings, stickers, you name it. She makes it all on her website and her Etsy page. Go ahead and check out farfarawayfactory.com. TikTok is _BDazzler_, and her Etsy page is at Far Far Away Factory. Go ahead and check her out. Luke's got merch. Hereth's got merch. Plenty of other people in our community have her merchandise, and they love it. So go check her out.
There you go. All right. Anyway, so that was our thoughts on Mando season 3. But we are here to talk about Imperial Super Commando.
Help out Brooke.
Help out Brooke. Yeah.
Etsy page is working.
Same. I might start doing. I don't know, to pay off my debt, but
Luke, I have a great suggestion for you.
Luke, you want to do the of? Want to do the ofs?
No.
Luke, that was gonna be my suggestion. For everyone.
Ofs.
No. Anyway,
sell them grippers, baby.
Anyway, we are here to talk about the story
Kenny is beating this up right now.
Imperial Super Commandos.
Hereth, are you fidget spinning right now?
I was making fun of Ames fan.
Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about season 3, episode 7, Imperial Super Commandos. Basically, we start off. This is kind of like a Mandalorian backstory for Fen Rao. The rebels have lost contact with the protectors. So Fen Rao, Ezra, and Sabine are sent out to investigate. Fen Rao betrays them because Ezra loses sight of Fen Rao, gets his ass kicked. Of course, Ezra gets his ass kicked.
He doesn't get his ass kicked. He gets blindsided.
He gets knocked out.
There's a difference.
He gets knocked out. Anyway.
Oh, he doesn't get knocked. He gets stunned.
No, he gets knocked out. Fen Rao bashes him in the head and knocks him out.
I just love how Ezra's like, "Oh look, pretty planet."
Yeah. Just gets clobbered. And then Fen Rao kind of, when they land, we see that the protectors were ambushed by the Imperial Super Commandos. Fen Rao blames Sabine. They get found out by a probe droid. Gar Saxon shows up. We get a little bit more context between Fen Rao and Gar Saxon. Then Sabine and Gar Saxon have a little back and forth. We get a little bit more knowledge about Sabine's family. And then they escape. And that's the end of the episode. But talking about Fen Rao, my first question is, how does Fen Rao's past experiences as a Mandalorian warrior, along with his run-in with the Imperial Super Commanders in this episode, show his personal growth and ability to deal with his past affiliations with his new loyalty to the rebellion?
Are we not doing the 2 sentences?
No, we already did the icebreaker. Do you want to do that?
No.
He wants to do it, Luke.
All right, Carter, go ahead. Go ahead.
It just kind of caught me off guard.
You know, the boomer just wants his little like yogurt. Just give it to him.
Well, Remy, I literally gave him the floor to do it. He's not doing it. I can't force him to do it.
I don't want to do it anymore.
All right, are you gonna answer the question though?
Could you repeat the question?
Oh my!
This is not a trivia tournament.
Oh my God! How does Fenrir's past experiences as a Mandalorian warrior?
Multiple choice, please.
Is it A, Sabine?
How does Fenrir's
B, Ursa.
God, Jesus Christ! Would you just let me say it?
C,
I'm regretting. How does Fenrir's
Luke,
past?
spell Tristan Wren.
Oh my God! I'm gonna kill you. How does Fenrir's experiences as a Mandalorian warrior, along with his run-in with the Imperial SuperCommandos in this episode, show his personal growth and ability to deal with his past affiliations with his new loyalty to the rebellion?
Aidan, you got it.
Okay, I'll go. I guess. I think the big turning point was the fact that Fenrir saw that Sabine was willing to sacrifice herself for Chopper and Ezra, and that's really what convinced him of that. Joining up with the rebellion is the right thing to do because he now fully trusts the rebellion because of Sabine's actions, and also I think across the board he would pull across all his experience, like you asked in the question, like working with the Jedi back in the Clone Wars, and just kind of refamiliarizing himself with that the rebellion is basically the continuation of those ideals that he had once fought for, and also Sabine proved that she's loyal to Mandalore, and that's a very big thing for Fenrir because ultimately, like you said in the episode, his loyalty lies with Mandalore, and that's a very big thing for him.
How do you think that alone is obviously that's the biggest factor, but when he deals with Gar Saxon, right? Gar Saxon calls Sabine a traitor. Sabine calls Gar Saxon a traitor. Like it's kind of interesting to see, especially with this last episode of like this whole season of The Mandalorian, right? If you want to bring it all together, how like these two factions have like it just goes to show you how long Mandalore has been separated, and how long each faction has been at each other's throats. But Carter.
Yeah, and kind of building off what Aidan was saying about loyalty, like loyalty is such an important thing for Mandalorians. And I think once Sabine could convince him that the Empire was bad and that the rebellion held up a lot of the morals that that the Mandalorians also held during the Clone Wars, that it made him transition and kind of realize that these Mandalorians are not good, and we need to, or not Mandalorian, these Imperial Mandalorians need to kind of be done with.
And it's also interesting to see how his affiliation with what Aidan and you were saying is that at the beginning of the episode he was kind of weary of Sabine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get to Concord Dawn, it's like he blames Sabine.
Yes.
For all of the issues that have happened, and then ultimately because it's like Sabine tries to talk to him about, hey, like you this was gonna happen either whether you were here or whether you were gone. Like you cannot blame this on the rebels. Like that's not our fault. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of something that. No, go ahead, Carter. Go ahead.
I was just saying, this is not the first or not the last time that we're going to see Sabine get blamed for stuff on Mandalore. Whenever she creates the Duchess in a few episodes, or you kind of see that reoccurring.
Is that season 4? That's
It's
beginning
season
of
4.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, season 4. Yeah.
See,
but like,
you know what I mean? Like,
but there's
and she's kind of just feeling love. She's hearing it from him, and then keeps hearing it over and over again.
Yeah.
That kind of is why she gets to that like tipping point in that episode.
No, yeah, absolutely. Hereth, Char, got anything to add on that?
I mean, they perfectly hit exactly what I was going to say with the whole Fen Rao at the beginning of the episode, basically being like, you guys are keeping me prisoners. I let you guys have safe passage, and you guys can't do anything with it. Now all my people are dead. Like, what about that? And then the whole line about how Ezra is supposed to be a sacrifice ploy
Yes.
for Rao,
that
and
pissed
Rao,
me off.
and Rao was like, people die. Who cares?
Yeah,
Let's go.
He called him a pawn. He called him a pawn.
I mean, he did like knock him out like 15 minutes before. So I mean,
He doesn't know what's up.
And then I also love how like Ezra like keeps just pulling out the same lies from the entire series. He starts off with the whole.
All right, I'm with Hondo. I'm with Hondo. Okay.
And then it turns to Lando, then Jabba. He just goes through all. He goes through all of them.
You should have pulled out a reference letter from Hondo, being like, "There you go."
See, here's my proof of I'm not a bullshitter. I mean, I love Gar Saxon being like, bro, you just gave me all the information I needed without you guys realizing it, you dumbass.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. But Char.
I mean, I got nothing else to say. I mean, Hereth added on perfectly. He hit the nail in the coffin on that one with who Fenrir really is. So
Yeah, absolutely. But we're gonna talk about Sabine now. Carter kind of touched on it a little bit. But my second question has to involve Sabine. How does Sabine's inner conflict with her allegiances to her family and the Rebel Alliance reveal her intricacies as a character? And what does it foreshadow for her character development later on?
Well, I think, like I said, it definitely foreshadows her having problems with Mandalore. And then now in a few episodes, we're going to see her get the Darksaber and everything. And you see that turmoil keep building in that when she's with Kanan and like all of her frustration with everything that's happened on Mandalore. So, I mean, she's a wonderful character. And this is really the kind of the start, or maybe if the few episodes before would be the start of when Sabine really starts to become like a great character. I would say before this, I would say Sabine is a good character, but then this chunk in season 3 is really what makes Sabine a great character.
Yeah, absolutely. Aidan?
I would say that this episode is basically a continuation of Sabine encountering things from her past, like back in season 2, reuniting with Ketsu Onyo, like that was a part of her backstory. Yeah. And now at this point, she's kind of encountering more of her Mandalorian ties. And like Carter was saying, this is definitely like the start of what her story is going to be further on in this season and also in season 4. I think it's opening the door for her to kind of start to come to terms with what happened, because now she has someone to talk to in Fen Rao, who is, from her culture as a Mandalorian. And I think that's really important because, it's one thing to talk to the Ghost crew, but it's another thing to have someone who's lived in that culture, lived in that experience, to kind of be able to talk with them as well. And especially like further on in this season with all the Darksaber stuff that's going to happen, I think it's really important and that Fen Rao is around. And it just really emphasizes what a great character Sabine is and the arc she's going to go on in the next this season and the next one.
Oh yeah, and you hit it. You really nailed it there, because I mean, like we kind of touched on a little bit earlier, Gar Saxon throws out the fact that her mother is looking for her, and Sabine is instantly like, "That's a lie," and then she goes on to find out later in the episode that, that it's like she has to go through like hearing that her mother like how the affiliations that now they're with the Empire. It's very, very hard for her to kind of balance those lines, because he throws in her face, if she wouldn't have left the Imperial, or if she wouldn't have left the Academy, she'd be wearing this armor. She wouldn't be like, her family wouldn't be in the standing that they are now. Like, and he throws all of that at her, but she's not fazed by it because she's been out for so long. She's found another family to kind of rally behind. And what?
I would disagree with the whole like finding another family. I think it was more or less because like if you pay attention to how Sabine was in Trials of the Darksaber, anytime they confront her about her past with the Mandalorian, she always just deflects and denies it until she blows up on Kanan. That's how she was in Trials of the Darksaber as well. Remember, because like Kanan's constantly pressing her about like you built a weapon that would kill like the Mandalorian, and she kept denying until she was a massive fireball and she blew up about it. So I think Sabine is just denying, like she's just in denial that like all this is happening. So she was like. Because she was like, yeah, like the line of like, oh, you could be wearing these colors too, and she was like, my color full anyway. She just like blows up and like gets out of there and like runs away from it. She's basically trying to run away from her past at all times until she gets confronted with it by Kanan.
But yeah, I think that Char, you got anything to add on that one?
I mean, Sabine's character in this episode is really interesting because it's like her coming to terms with how Mandalorians truly are. It's eye-opening. And then when you see her dynamic with her family, with Ursa and Tristan, and how they're willing to be more loyal to the Empire than their own daughter, it's eye-opening. And it shows the true colors of the Mandalorians. Because I mean, as of recently with the Mandalorian, you can see how divided Mandalorians are. Yeah. And they're willing to stay loyal to a cause despite who the opposition is. Like if it's Mandalorians on Mandalorians and one is serving the Empire, like that doesn't matter who's who at that point. It's just I want power. I'm going to take you out no matter what. It's not what Bo-Katan did and just unite them all. It was all division and separation, and it's crazy how bad they treat themselves.
And that's why I like having Ezra in this episode as a third party. It's not just Mandalorians, because Ezra's like, wait, what the heck? Why are you guys always fighting each other? And like, whatever.
Yeah, he was the mediator.
No, yeah. Ezra and Kanan are just like, why are Mandalorians the way they are? Yeah. Like that's always the joke.
He was playing lawyer.
Or Ezra says something like, or Ezra asks Sabine like what's going on with all this, and she's like, well, it's complicated. It's like, yeah.
I mean, that's the way of Mandalore. They fight, they try to get on top, and then it all comes crashing the fuck down.
All for one little stupid little blade
that gets crushed.
Ooh, yeah, that was pretty intense. But that's gonna be it for the story of Imperial SuperCommandos. Now let's get into the lore of this episode. Char, ready?
Let's do it.
Don't be too proud of this podcast you've constructed. The ability to tell 3 interesting facts is insignificant next to the power of the lore.
And we are here for the lore of Imperial SuperCommandos. Today's lore is reluctant choices. Oh, yeah. Get yourself thinking what that means. What does that mean, huh? What does reluctant choices mean?
Making a reluctant choice.
Oh, is that right?
In there. It's literally what you just said.
In this episode, we have the protector of Concord Dawn, Fen Rao, who initially fights the Ghost Crew, but eventually realizes the true threat is Gar Saxon and his band of soldiers. In Star Wars, there have been many times where characters were indecisive on something that will change and or benefit our heroes. Which, in fact, Fen Rao teaming up with the Ghost Crew to help them finish their mission. Some examples. Han going to save Luke during the Death Star trench run in A New Hope after wanting to leave with his payment. Din Djarin allowing IG-11 to heal him in Season 1 after having a strong distaste for droids. Anakin traveling to Palpatine's office before Mace Windu defeats Palpatine. And there's millions more. And I don't really have the effort to name them all. But if there is one moment in Star Wars where a character did the opposite of what they did, what would it be?
Gonna take the obvious one here. Vader not killing Palpatine.
Yeah, dive more than that, please. What would happen?
Let's think about it. Vader does not. Vader basically is still the heel, and he doesn't kill Palpatine, and Luke dies, and the Empire survives, and they live probably for another 20 years. Probably they probably reign indefinitely. Like there's nobody that's going to take out the Empire at that point.
Well, maybe Lando and Nyan will have something to say about that, but I mean, I don't know.
Also, Leia.
But like, let's be real here. They take out Luke. Or like you're just playing the what if game now. That's basically
That's
what you're asking, right?
that's what it is. Like what?
Yeah.
I'm asking you, what if a character did or chose a different path as to what they did? Like, what if Han didn't go to save Luke during the trench run?
I mean,
what if
Luke
Anakin didn't go to
probably dies.
Palpatine's office?
What if Palpatine?
What if Din Djarin didn't get over his fear of droids and let IG-11 heal him? Like,
there wouldn't. Yeah, he would have died.
no, but
Also,
like,
why does Kenny always bring up Ventress?
And Dooku?
He loves Dark Disciple, man. Let him love it.
Oh my god! By the way, for everybody jumping down Hereth's throat on the Instagram reels of our last guest,
I was waiting for someone to tie it in somehow.
Ventress is a humanoid. She's not an alien.
Yeah, Luke. Next time, don't ask are they an alien, because it's a very convoluted question.
Well, that's what popped in my head. Okay, so I've been like having to defend Hereth on Instagram.
Like, if I did Dryden Voss is not an alien. He's considered a near human.
No, like the definition of a humanoid is that it's a creature that has human aspects.
But there's also Dryden Voss, who literally is a human, but he has alien features, which makes him near human.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to, when you ask that question, it's kind of weird. But anyway, Carter, I'll go with you first.
Sorry.
What situation in Star Wars where you would reverse it that would change everything?
Wait, reverse it? That would change everything?
Yeah, like what Luke said. Like, what if Han didn't go to save Luke during the trench run?
Oh man!
Like, what would be a scenario where you would want it to end up being the opposite? Like, what if Anakin didn't go to Palpatine's office?
I mean, I have a really good one. What if Ezra just killed Thrawn instead of going into hyperspace?
Good God. Okay.
Would that not have just made everyone's life easier?
I don't think that's like what I'm aiming for. I'm like, what if?
Yeah. I honestly cannot think of any.
I mean, that's a good one. I would have said, what if Ezra would have?
Because it goes against what Ezra's like. Ezra is sacrificing himself, which I would say is different than anything he's kind of done.
What if Thrawn sent Agent Callus instead of himself?
What? Wait. What? What are you trying to say, babe? What? I'm confused.
Are we talking about the Battle of Adawan? Like what? Like what is she referring to?
I don't know. No idea. I'm sure we'll get a follow up. Eli. Oh yes. Happy 420 for those that.
Okay. Aidan, what is your reluctant scene where you think the character either should have made the right choice or the wrong choice?
Mine's gonna be kind of interesting, and like you're saying, it's the opposite of what they did. I would do what if Palpatine had killed Maul on Mandalore and hadn't taken him prisoner?
That is a good one.
How would that change the dynamic of the Shadow Collective? Or going just before that happened, what would happen if Pre Vizsla had defeated Maul in combat? How would that change things?
Or like, what if, but like in terms of like reluctant choices, what if Maul didn't kill Pre Vizsla? What if he spared him?
What if Maul didn't kill Satine?
There you go.
What if Obi-Wan killed Anakin?
Oh, good God! All right. Yeah. I mean, there wouldn't be Vader.
it's pretty
I
obvious.
mean, I'm surprised I'm going with a prequel. What if I had a lot of original trilogy ones in my head, but if we're going prequel wise, what if Anakin didn't kill Dooku and getting given to his
That's a good
anchor?
one.
Or yeah, what if?
That's a
Yeah,
good
that's a
one.
really good one because
Well,
he was very half and half on doing it. That's the reluctant choice.
What if Din Djarin and Obi-Wan were brother-in-laws? I can tell you right now, there's going to be content made here shortly of
This dog.
of 4 people in this community. It's gonna be interesting.
This thought plagues me every hour of every day.
And I feel like we should insert Chris's quote from the reaction, and just like that, 1,000 chapters of fan fiction
Oh
was
my god!
born.
Imagine if, because remember when Obi-Wan in Kenobi when he was talking to Leia, was like, I think I had a brother, but I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
That is your
So now,
segue.
So now, wait, hold on. So you talked about that, right? Thanks for bringing that up, because there's a theory out there, and I kind of dig it. Okay, so you know how he talks to Leia about like him having a possible brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that guy in the Ahsoka trailer?
Balin?
Yeah. What if he
I don't like
is?
it.
What if
Nope.
he is Obi-Wan's younger brother?
Nope. Don't like it.
I've seen that one.
Nope, don't like it. I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be an interesting take. It's better than this is just okay, all right. No, Aidan. At least it's not, this is Anakin. No, this is just an alternate timeline with Anakin Skywalker.
We don't do that here. We don't do that here.
No, we don't.
Like, it looked like Kanan's lightsaber in the Ahsoka trailer.
Interesting.
I don't know what the guy's name is, but
Oh my god, no.
it looks like Kanan's lightsaber with a red kyber crystal.
Well, okay.
It's Balin's
So I'm pretty
skull.
sure it's orange.
It
It's not
is
red.
orange.
It is
Yeah, it's
orange.
orange. Yeah, it's orange.
Dave Filoni
Yeah.
said he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, because they're not Sith, they're acolytes.
Are they acolytes?
That's my theory, at least.
Why don't we wait till the show
Otherwise-
comes out to find out?
So it's not true. It's like, they're acolytes. Wait, it's a theory.
Anyway.
It's like what Luke did earlier. It was like, well, a certain person's coming in for Ray's movie.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a rumor that John Boyega is going to join Daisy Ridley for New Jedi Order.
Source.
It's a rumor. It's a
Trust me,
rumor.
bro.
It's a rumor. It's a rumor. But I wouldn't be surprised if that were true.
But
Because he
anyways,
does.
Luke,
love
did you also hear the rumor that Ezra's going to train Grogu?
That's a garbage take because fucking
No.
Ezra can't even get himself out of a wet paper bag, let alone train somebody.
No, I heard it. I heard it the other day.
it's okay. It's okay. Luke hates.
Hey, he got a really good source over there. It starts with an M and ends with an H.
Yeah.
It's okay, Carter. For some reason, Luke despises Ezra.
I don't
love Ezra.
despise Ezra. It's just
Why did you?
You despise
Why are you
him.
getting all defensive, Luke?
because he literally can't get out of a wet paper bag. Come on.
What does that mean?
He's not.
What
He's
does
not
that
training.
even
He's not.
mean?
What do you mean by that?
He's
like,
not
Hondo, I'm hearing the word
training. He's not
insolence.
training. He's not training Grogu. The only person that could train Grogu was
Is Ezra Bridger.
was Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker knows more than Ezra
Hey,
Bridger does.
Okay.
Ezra Bridger's too busy training Jason Syndulla, okay?
Oh,
Not like
Jesus.
Ezra's tapped into the dark side before and knows the consequences of it.
Luke literally did the same thing. What are you
And
talking
Ezra's
about,
master
Char?
and Ezra's
But Ezra
master
talked to
which
Tattoo guy.
Kanan taught Ezra how to correctly deal with attachments, which could also make a lot of sense with Grogu.
So did Luke. Luke
Okay, you
literally
did not
did the same
teach him.
thing.
Shut up.
$20
Anyway,
on
Anyways,
Luke.
Hereth,
$20.
we digress.
20?
We digress.
do you want to put $20 right now?
It's all
20
falling
pack
apart.
cruise.
Hereth, what is your reluctant choice moment?
I already said it. It was Anakin reluctantly not killing Dooku and giving in to the Jedi way. I said it like 5 minutes ago, but we held on to the discussion about Ezra Bridger.
Hey. You know what? 20
You know
bucks. 20 bucks says that he does not.
You know what my
train
reluctant
Goku.
moment is?
Right now, put it
You wanna know
down,
what
Carter.
my-
Carter Diver.
Char just wants to say his
Sorry.
moment, guys. I'm saying.
Sorry. All right. Good. All right, Jake.
You want to know my reluctant choices? Not making a bigger effort to meet Carter's mom.
The door was open. The door was open.
I don't think so.
Oh my god.
It was
All right,
closed, and I had to
well-
ram it down.
All right. And on that note, that's it for lore. Jesus Christ.
That was great lore. All right,
First.
anyway,
first
let's dive
episode
into
back-
the interconnectedness of this episode.
First episode back in 3 weeks. God damn.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
And welcome back to Interconnected. How the fuck do I transition out of that shit? Anyway, let's talk about Mandalorian culture, guys. In this episode, with Fenrir's arc and how Sabine Wren faces off against Star Saxon and his Imperial SuperCommandos, how does this episode's exploration of Mandalorian culture and conflict interconnect with the themes of the events of The Mandalorian, in particular in terms of the character Din Djarin and his journey with other Mandalorian and their cultures? That was enough.
What about Moff Gideon wearing it looked like Gar Saxon horns on his helmet,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
also very, very cool. Because right when that came up, I was like, damn. Which I mean, it makes sense, but no, I thought that was really cool. Seeing him wearing.
Where'd Char go? Char
Just-
just
Under there.
Could you repeat the question?
Oh my god. Okay. Mouthful again. How does this episode's exploration of Mandalorian culture and conflict with the Empire connect to the themes and the events of The Mandalorian, particularly in terms of the character Din Djarin's journey and his encounters with other Mandalorian characters and their cultures in Season 2 and Season 3?
Aidan, do it again.
No.
Can I please get the planet of origin?
I must
Mandalore.
Can I please get the planet of origin for this question?
Mandalore.
Mandalore. For Mandalore!
Anyway.
For Mandalore!
All right. Anyway, answer the question.
Luke, I'm going on you first because you're being very pushy about other people to answer the goddamn question. Continue
I
first.
forgot the question again.
I mean, how does it connect? How does
Yes.
it interconnect with what? I mean,
Other cultures of Mandalorians. Come on.
I mean, it is an interesting thing. Like, obviously, we kind of touched upon it a little bit in the story section, like how very divisive like the Mandalorian culture is. I mean, we started off with the Clone Wars, right? Even before that, they had the Mandalorian Civil Wars, which is the whole reason why Obi-Wan and Satine have a relationship in the beginning. Like, there has never been stability in Mandalore since Tar Vizsla had died. Like that, like all the clans were all kind of scattered, doing their own thing, trying to take over power. They had never been like really connected as one up until this point in the Mandalorian, where they've kind of finally figured it the fuck out after a couple decades and shit. You know what I mean?
And a bombing of their entire planet. And,
Yeah,
you know,
that too. That kind of helps. But I mean, it's just interesting to see the development of like seeing the culture kind of move. You know what I mean? From where we are in Clone Wars, where we're at in Rebels right now, and then where we're at in the Mandalorian. Like it's the story of that culture is one that is very interesting.
I mean, we even get Fenrir saying at the end of the episode, "You finally learned the way again." Like literally, he said, "This is the way." Essentially.
Yeah. Dave Filoni was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna use that later."
It's very consistent. When you're going to Mandalorians, you kind of know what you're gonna get. And this episode is no different.
Aidan, please tell me you didn't forget the question again.
No, interconnectedness. Yeah, I mean, at this point, this is before the purge, so really the only Mandalorians that are kind of in the loop with everything are, Clan Saxon, Clan Ren, House Vizsla, House Kryze, all that kind of stuff. And, Din Djarin and Paz Vizsla and the armor are all hanging out on the moon of Concordia. And then, we get to the point where the purge happens, they get scattered, and, they meet up in the Mandalorian and kind of reunite into a place of stability by the end of season 3. So
Yeah.
that's
Also,
how it works out.
Speaking of, I'm gonna throw like an audible on this question as well and add something else that's different because I've been thinking about this before the Mando season 3 finale. Look, I don't give a shit about Grey's Anatomy, but I'm gonna tie this in somehow. The contract with the actor who plays Finn Rao finally just got out of Grey's Anatomy. So, do you think it's possible we could see Finn Rao in live action in the Mando season 4?
Is that the only reason why he wasn't on?
Yeah, because literally.
Really?
Because apparently he had like a really strict contract with Grey's Anatomy where that's the only thing he could be on for a long
I've
time.
actually heard that because then people get mad at Grey's and then they just kill them off.
Yeah, that's why they literally have them kill half their characters off. So that's why
it's because it's because Grey's Anatomy is fucking garbage. Okay, Grey's Anatomy, LER, so much better.
I mean, it is garbage, but guess what? We're getting Finn Rao out of it, so you know what? It's a W. I mean, the actor literally looks like the character.
I feel like
wait. I thought the voice actor was going to do.
That's what I'm saying. The voice actor literally looks like Finn Rao.
So it is. So the voice actor is playing in Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Somebody's getting a phone call.
Are you okay?
Me?
Who's getting a phone call?
I don't know. But
your mom.
Anyway, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he really does look like. Obviously, I mean, yeah. I could see him showing up in season 4.
Also, I have to say those socks that the Mandalorians wear on their heads in Rebels are kind of dumb looking. That's my opinion.
I also noticed that as well, but I also noticed all the characters have something covering their neck at all times.
Yeah,
I thought that was just odd.
Strange ass shit. But with that,
don't question the way.
That is the end of Hereth segment. Now time for everybody's favorite segment.
3 interesting facts about a certain Rebels arc that you didn't know about until now. Part 31, Imperial SuperCommandos edition. Fact 1, the original concept for this episode. The first draft script for this episode originally had Sabine and Fenn Rau playing Dejarik, but it was changed to be something more germane to Mandalorian culture. Based loosely on the Legends game Kubikad from the Republic Commando novels, this game was jokingly called Stabble by some of the production team. Fact 2, comics coming in to fruition. The character of Gar Saxon was developed for the Clone Wars episodes that never entered into production, but were adapted into the comic series Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir. Fact 3, HBO reunion. The guest Mandalorian performers in this episode represent a reunion of 2 cast members from the HBO series Rome. Kevin McKidd, who voices Fenn Rau, played Lucius Vorenus, while Ray Stevenson, who voices Gar Saxon, played Titus Pullo. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the HBO series Rome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That is the 3 interesting facts about Imperial SuperCommandos.
All right, now it's time to rank the episode. Carter, Aidan, what is your ranking?
I would give it a captain.
So it's good.
Why do you say it like that?
So it's good.
Yeah, I would say it's in between a captain and an admiral. Yeah.
Okay.
In between a captain and an admiral.
Okay.
And one more thing. We also didn't touch about the fight scene at the end when Ezra and Sabine are on top of each other fight. Like it's just like,
What you mean by that?
Yeah,
You
what
know what I mean.
are you?
That fight scene is so cool. Like,
What are you
it's
trying
a
to? What are you?
great-
What
Are you
it's
trying
a
to
great
foreshadow
fight
something?
scene.
Are you foreshadowing
I
anything?
mean, I mean,
No, it's just a great fight scene. We just didn't talk about it.
I mean,
Hey, Carter. We
It
like
is.
to keep it at least PG-13 right now. You're pushing it to R.
also,
If you didn't do that,
Sabine and Ezra ain't like that. They're fucking siblings, people. Let's just kill that theory
You
now
think
before
I
it becomes
don't
more
know
popular.
that?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just talking Luke over here in the corner. I'm talking about the Nebraskan, the one that was implying that.
You're bird.
oh, like I was the only one implying that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you weirdo.
Aiden,
Yeah.
you're,
I was
you're
not
ranking.
implying that.
You're ranking.
I'll go with senior captain, even though it's not an option. It's a good episode. It's not great, but it sets up a lot of important things that is going to happen for the overall story of the Mandalorians in Rebels and further on. So I think it's a good episode.
Hereth.
I'm giving it an ensign just because of Gar Saxon being in the episode. I'm kidding. It's an admiral.
Oh, Admiral. Okay, nice.
That's kind of a stretch.
Wow, I have different opinions than everybody. Then I get labeled for stretching stuff. Oh,
Char, go.
I'm gonna give it a captain. I think it
Yep.
is a really good episode, and
Yep.
also it sets up everything that happens prior to the Night of 1,000 Tears.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, Char. Captain
oh,
as
you're
well, so it's a
welcome.
captain. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for saving me words because I really don't feel well.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
free to talk.
All right. That is going to be it for this episode. Carter, Aiden, thank you for joining us. Where can the good people follow you on the social medias?
Okay, I'll go. The good people can follow me on TikTok at Car2D2, where I will be uploading for a good while, probably until the end of Ahsoka, maybe after, depending on how it's going. And then you can follow my Instagram if you want to. It's just at Carter.
Why don't you make a separate one for Car2D2?
content, baby. Yeah.
I'm not like that.
And be like
if you're
that.
if you're gonna give to the content game, you got to go all in or not at all.
Also, Carter, you're missing out on content.
Alright.
You can just dump your stuff on Reels. It's easy content.
That is pretty easy content.
It's true.
Aiden.
Well, when I do want to put in the effort of actually having a social media presence, you can find me on TikTok at Aidan Talks Star Wars Topic 1. I post random stuff at varying times. It could be like 8 months since my last post, so don't expect consistency from me across my entire life. And you can also find me in the Podwans Discord server that now is apparently dead. But if it ever is revived, you can find me there.
And he will be signing a lucrative deal with Pod Ones to start the ATSD show. You heard it here first. That man is getting his own show.
Source, trust me, bro. Okay, very good.
Hereth.
Well, of course, you can find me on Hereth Productions on TikTok and Instagram, where you can find me dumping all the stuff from Celebration in Ireland. And then you can find me on Twitter at Hereth_edits, where I scream about the Ahsoka series. And then you can find me here on Podcasts, where I also scream about the Ahsoka series.
Yeah.
Well,
yep,
well
pretty
Hereth, how are the people going to spell your name?
It's like Aaron, but with it.
What?
Like,
But
with a
where's your
stutter.
name? Where's your name? I can't
I'm
see
not.
it.
Hey, Char, guess what? You can point at your goddamn name when you do yours.
I'm not pointing to my name, so don't even try that.
Stop
Char.
trying to, Char. Your influence is not working.
Stop. All right, Char. Where can people follow you?
Good people, you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at CharJ, as spelled right here. Thanks, Carter. And you can find me here at the Pod One Podcast every Thursday night as we cover our Star Wars Rebels rewatch. Next week, you will not find me there, but we will be covering Season 3, Episode 8 of Rebels, titled Iron Squadron, where you will find another different cast of guests. And these two buffoons and this guy who will become Char.
And you can find us at the Pod Ones on all social medias. If this is your first time being here, thank you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification as well so that you never miss any of our content. Go check out our season finale reaction of The Mandalorian. We're gonna be kind of in this lull period for a couple of months before Ahsoka ramps up. So,
But let me tell you, everyone, we have some ideas stirring.
oh,
So
we've got some ideas.
Don't we won't go into detail about it, but we have a lot of.
Me and Char are cooking right now.
We have we have some stuff in the works.
Yeah. So, with that, on to the next one. May the force be with you.
Always.
This is the way.